Good morning. Thank you for joining me on the Daily Reflection. I'm Reverend Shireen, and today we're going to be using the OSHO ZEN Tarot. Just seemed like the one for today. It was a pretty big weekend for me, in a lot of ways. A lot of peace and joy and a lot of interesting triggers, for lack of a better word. And there was a death in my not immediate family, but uncle. And it wasn't unexpected, but it's still always, there's just always an element that takes you by surprise a little bit, forces you to look at areas where you maybe feel like you didn't treat that person fairly or thought of them enough. Also made me look at some family line energy, the effects of the group that you're born into, and their belief systems and how that affects you. And then just a simple miscommunication between my husband and I had me a little bit fearful last night that for his safety. Hadn't heard from him when I expected to, or even several hours after it. Anyway, so I was looking at all of that energy. Endings, transitionings, family energy, fears, all of that in meditation. And what arose for me was to really look at where your fears lie, because they tell you a lot about yourself. And as soon as you can touch that fear without hiding it, without burying it, as soon as you can touch it and pick it up and look at it head on, all of its ramifications, all of the things, because it's truly not the event or the thing that I was fearful of. It was all of the repercussions, all the ripples that then happen in life, all the ways I have to change and adapt to the results of that. That is really what put me into resistance. And one thing about life is that it always ends. At some point, in some way, life is going to end. Your life will end. The people you love, lives will end. People, strangers in your community you don't even know, their lives are going to end. And that is just part and parcel of the picture. So having fear around that is only a mask, really. It's only a mask for the places within you that still need healing, the places within you that you're still hiding from, the areas that you don't want to have to address or change. As well as the grief of not having that person's input or energy within your personal sphere. Although my experience is perhaps a little different than most, but I do think it's possible to connect and communicate and have those energies. Certainly not in your day-to-day life. You're certainly not going to be able to give that person a physical hug. And our physicality is important to us. It is why we are here. If we didn't want that aspect of feeling, that aspect of experiencing the ability to touch, the ability to smell, the ability to see, taste, etc., we wouldn't be here. Our spirits would be doing something else. So not to downplay anyone's grief, because Grief is very real. But just to look at where the fear of yourself or someone else dying really sits. What are you really avoiding? What are you really in resistance to? And most likely it's not the point of transition or even the point of lack. It's all of the ripples of change. So, all right, that was the deep meditative moment for today. And I hope you found something in it that allows you to loosen some of the fears that may be hidden in your body, hidden in your aura, hidden in your energy field, and allow those to loosen and release. Allow yourself to expand more into yourself. Allow yourself to heal yourself a little bit more. So, all right. And the card for today, I'm just going to go off the top, looks like, is the Rebel. This is the dichotomy of foundation and control and the rules and all of the things those boundaries give us, as well as our ability to break, flaunt, bend, and change those very foundations and boundaries. And so on one hand, this card comes to speak to you of knowing where your security and your strength and foundation is. Also knowing that foundations can crumble and that your strength and security isn't really in that foundation. It is within yourself. And then thirdly, that you can flaunt and bend the rules and change them at any time and still have or create a new foundation and a new way of doing things. So allow yourself to be a little rebellious. If there's a limit that you've been chafing against, something in your life that you are ready to change and you just have not allowed yourself the freedom to do so because the boundary seems so set and the thing that's on the other side seems so daunting or big, maybe it's time to go ahead and bend that rule and to see what happens. It's very much reminded that you can't fill an empty cup. That you can't, you can't fill a full cup. It has to be empty. At least, and how much do you allow yourself to empty your cup so that you can receive new and more? If your cup is already full and someone tries to add to it, you might get a little bit of that new, but most of what's trying to be added is just going to flow off the side and not reach you. And so there are always rhythms, there are always additions and subtractions and flow. And I'm going to go ahead and pull another card here, it looks like. Moment to moment. So yes, there's always addition, subtraction, and it's the flow. A cup that is empty does no one good. A cup that is full does no one good. It's the flow in between, the adding, the filling, the experiencing, the releasing, the letting go so you can have more experience. And I think those two cards go very well together today. So allow your inner rebel to come out and change the rules, change the boundaries, create a new foundation. And most importantly, just enjoy your life today, moment to moment, every day, moment to moment, and be there with it. Whatever's happening inside you, whatever's happening around you, know that it all flows. That's it. That's the daily reflection for today. Take care, be blessed, and we will see you tomorrow.